Dr. Dre has been known for discovering great music acts, discovering the likes of Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. But in this video, we are going to look into his relationship with Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre was the perfect father figure, role model, mentor, and producer for me at the time because I was young, I was raw, but I needed direction and I needed some sculpting. And he was able to shape me and mold me and teach me the right way of how to do it. And he had the right team around me. And I've always respected the fact that he was willing to teach me when I was not who I am today.
1992, Los Angeles. Dr. Dre had just left his music group, the infamous NWA, due to royalty disputes to Death Row Records. He left without any money, and he knew that his next move will make or mar him. Snoop Dogg, on the other side, was a drug peddler who got into trouble all the time, but had the talent and passion for music. He had this to say.
True, I was a better freestyler than a writer.
Yeah.
So when I got to junior high school, I met a kid named Sean. He was 1 grade under me. And me and him used to rap. And me and Sean kind of like formulated a group. And Sean we would go to his house because he had like lightweight equipment and shit. And Sean would write the songs that we would perform at school like the next day. So he would write, he was the writer and I was just a freestyler. So he would write shit and then we would perform it. So one day we was in a battle and we was doing the shit that we performed. And it wasn't working.
Yeah,
and we was losing. This nigga was fucking us up. So I jump off the script and just start freestyling. And I keep us in the battle. But then I run out of freestyle. It's like shit. I'm like, we not ready yet. But at the same time, just to get the long and the end of the story.
It was during this time that he came in contact with Warren G, who happened to be Dr. Dre's stepbrother. Snoop Dogg had the habit of recording his freestyles on cassette tapes, and Warren G took one of the tapes, which was a solo freestyle over Hold On by En Vogue, and played it during a ceremony where Dr. Dre was present. Dr. Dre recalls this experience in this clip.
Yeah, the story was I was at a bachelor party and my stepbrother Warren G just popped this tape in and said, listen to this, you know, and it was Snoop's voice. I said, can we meet? We meet in the studio, you know, long story short, I think it was 2 days later or something like that. Snoop came in the studio. Snoop had no idea about song structure or anything like that. He just came in rapping.
Note, Dr. Dre was at the lowest point of his life then. He recollects the following. Dr. Dre invited Snoop Dogg to audition and signed him to Death Row Records. Together, they collaborated on Dr. Dre's album, The Chronic, and also on Snoop's album, Doggy Style. And since then, Snoop Dogg has entrusted his career to Dr. Dre's hands, coming to him for advice. He had this to say about Dr. Dre.
Anything that I do outside of him, I don't want him to hear it.
Really?
Because he's so critical, he's so like, he's a perfectionist. And it's like, that's why I chose to work with him on this project rather than try to do something on the outside and be like, what you think about this track? No, why not just go let him produce me and give me the greatest experience I can have, because when I work with other producers, they get close, but they can't do what he do.
Together, he and Dr. Dre have been nominated for the Grammys Award, but he ends up not winning it. Fun fact, Snoop Dogg holds the record for the 3rd most Grammy nomination without a win, with 17 nominations. He has also performed at Super Bowl halftime with Dr. Dre, and in 2024, the duo performed at the Olympics. Dr. Dre has performed his duties well as regards Snoop Dogg.
I have this man putting his career in my hands, so I gotta show up. I wake up every morning thinking about what I have to do when I go to sleep, before I go to sleep thinking about what I've done or what I have to do the next morning. So it's always on my mind because, again, it's a massive amount of trust that's been laid upon me, you know, so I gotta show up.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are business partners, collaborating in the production of the gin and juice beverage, which was inspired by Dre's habit of mixing gin and orange juice in the studio, and a single in the Doggy Style album, which goes by the aforementioned name. They are also releasing an album titled Missionary, which is a sequel to Doggy Style. If you want to know how Kanye West ventured into the fashion industry, the video is here. Subscribe for more content. Thank you.